right, MySQL. So as you can see, right, MySQL Workbench 8.0 Community Edition, right? It is visible to all of you. What you can see on your screen now? Yes, right. So the option you can click on this, right? Yes, and Workbench will open. So as you can see, this window, right? It is Workbench. So let's try to understand this tool first of all, because you will be using, and sometimes, right, it may be required for you to develop while you are in the process of developing a project, and if you want to use a MySQL database, okay, during the development process, you may use this particular tool, right? So let's first of all discuss about this tool, that what exactly this tool is, right? So as you can see, uh, Workbench is a graphical user, right, tool for MySQL, as you can see. So it is UI based, right? So you can find, okay, what exactly this tool is. We can say that this particular tool is database management system tool, right? It is a DBMS tool. What exactly a database is? If you for now, if I want to understand, right? If I want to make you understand what exactly a database is, so let's try to understand. Okay, if I want to make you to understand, assume you are a layman. So if I explain you a database, you can imagine a database, information for student. You have four columns, a tabular form, you can say that, okay, and this is student table, you can say, right? Just try to understand student table. So student database or student information, you can store information like name of student, right? Enrollment number of student after admission into university like JP, right? Maybe branch allotted to that student, and maybe his or her email ID, right? So you can consider these four columns, okay, uh, as an attribute of a student. These all four columns, you can say that, are attributes to the student, and every row of this table will store information for one student, right? For example, let's say student name is Nilesh, right? So first student enrollment number is 123, right? Here it is branch, sorry, right? Fourth column is branch. So branch is CSE and email ID is a at the rate something gmail.com, right? Second student is, for example, Raj. His enrollment number is 124. His branch is, for example, chemical. His email ID is b at the rate gmail.com or something, right? So means what? All these are rows, right? So every row stored record for one student, and every column is attribute of these records. Name is attribute of a student, enrollment number is one attribute of a student, branch is attribute of a student, email ID is attribute of a student. So we call it columns and records are rows, right? So we call it either rows or records, right? So I think it is clear, right? So this we call student table. Sometimes in a database management system terminology, we also call it a relation, right? Relation. We'll discuss more about this, right? So I think I am clear. Please write something if it is clear, all of you. Yes, good. So, okay. So here, this table, we call it either a table or a relation. When it comes to database, what exactly database is, if you want to understand, database, you can say that it is collection of such tables. Tables like student. Student is one table, department is another table, right? Course is another third table, college is fourth table. We have, we will be having many tables while developing a project, And when we relate these tables together, right, table with name student, table with name department, so department table will be having uh, department information, right, course is having uh, information related to different courses being offered, right, we can have, okay, college information in a college table. And if we relate all these tables together, we can call this is our database, right? Sometimes database and schemas, right, they are, okay, you can say that alternative way. If you want to okay, talk about database, sometimes we are talking about schema, means what, they both are synonyms to each other. Maybe in some of the books you will find that database are synonymous to schema and schema is synonymous to database, but there is a minor difference we will discuss right on this too. So there is a minor difference between database and schema. So for now, just try to remember, when we create tables like this, and if we relate more than one tables like this, it will create a database. And that is why we call this DBMS, or database relational database, RDBMS we call it, right? So database is this, and what is exactly management system? This, right? So database management system is a system software, you can say that, right? It allows you to create database, it allows you to insert records into database, it allows you to update current records in your database, it allows you to remove records from a database, it allows you to uh, enter constraint in a database. So it can perform many such operation for management of database system. So database management system software, right? It is ultimately a system software which manages your database. And as I explained what exactly a database is, right? And our database, that the subject that we want to okay, cover during this semester, we call it RDBMS, that is Relational Database Management System, where tables are related to each other, right? So that exactly the meaning of, you can say that this RDBMS. And this particular software, MySQL Workbench, right? It is ultimately, we can say that it is RDBMS tool, Relational Database Management System tool, and it is GUI based tool, right? So as you know, GUI is using, right, you can say that buttons, and with the interaction with those button, okay, you can perform some operations, right? uh, the other tool, if we compare, okay, in contrast to this GUI tool, we have command line interfaces, right? So we have to write commands to perform some operation, right? Command line interface. So here in GUI, we have buttons and everything. So with the help of button, you can interact directly with this button and operations will be performed. And in case of command line, we have to enter commands explicitly if you want to perform some operation. So this is the basic difference, we can say that, right? So this particular tool, MySQL Workbench, it is Relational Database Management System tool, and which is GUI, right? So GUI based tool. Am I clear, all of you? So am I clear? Please write something if it is clear. Yes, good. Let's go on. So now let's have a look of this particular tool, right? So if you have already installed this tool in your system, right? If it is there, you can open Workbench, and once it is open, you click on this gray box, right? This particular gray box. So if you click on this gray box, right, it will open one window, and it is asking for a password. So remember the password that we set during installation process, the root password. You enter that password. Now this tool will be connected to the server, MySQL server, which is installed in your system itself, right? So what was the name of that service? Name of that service was MySQL 80. So it will be connected to this server, this particular server, right? Name of that service is MySQL AT. So if you enter correct password and click on OK, right? It will You will be connected. Your workbench will be connected to the server, okay, which is installed in your system, right? So click on OK. Now it will give you window like this. Okay, if you start MySQL Workbench and if you find a sub window like this, right? Sub window like this is one sub window. If you find this type of sub window, and if you want to minimize this sub window, what you can do is you can click on this icon. If you want to close this sub window, right? If you want to close this sub window, you can click on this icon. Okay, so by clicking on that icon, the window will, that sub window will be minimized, right? Like this. So this is the first thing, right? So I'm trying to explain you how to work with working with this MySQL Workbench. Okay. So now let me explain you uh, sections of this particular tool. This is the first section. Let me okay, clearly divide this section. This is the first section. We call it a navigator section, right? So this is navigator section, right? Second section is this particular section, right? As you can see, the biggest part of your workbench tool covered by this section. We call this, you can say that window. You can write your write SQL queries here. So we can say that this is query window. SQL means what? Structured query language, right? Structured query language. So this is a language that we will be using during our labs, right? So it is a standardized, exactly not standardized, but you will see, right? If you are using Oracle database management system, or if you are using MySQL, structured databases like Oracle or MySQL. So both of this database management system, most popular database RDBMS, that is Oracle and MySQL, right? So they both use SQL language, that is structured query language. Okay, so as you can see here also, it is one query actually. We call it a query or a statement, right? So it is a statement in programming language, programming statement, but here we call it a query, right? So it is one statement in programming language, you can say that, but in SQL it is a query, one query, right? So whatever queries you want to write, you can enter your queries here. You can run from this window itself, and you will see output here somewhere, right? So this is second section of this tool. I think I'm clear. Uh, what type of question is this, Shreya? What you want to actually ask? Is it related to Workbench? Shreya Kaushik. So, okay, we'll discuss after some time. Let me clear, first of all, complete this part, right? Then we will discuss about that question. Okay. So this is second section, right? The third section you can see here. Okay, this particular section. This is toolbar. You can say that, right? This is ultimately a toolbar of right Workbench, and the last section is this particular right menu bar, right? So you can explore each and every menu over here and tool over here. I will explain some of the tools and okay menu. So you can go through all these things, right? So mainly there are four sections, right? So let's first of all discuss about this navigator section, and one by one we will discuss each and every section, that how you will be using these sections, right? So let's first of all discuss this. So as you can see here, there are two tabs. One is administration tab and second one is schema, right? So let me first of all click on this administration. So if you click on administration, you will see things like this in navigator bar, navigator section, right? So I'm not going into that much detail of this management because this is database management system software, right? MySQL Workbench, and that is why management is available. Means what about client, users, privileges. If you want to export data, import data, if you want to look into the server which is running inside your machine, you can do something here. You can change the settings and you can manage your system software, database management system. Okay, so let's talk about schema. Okay, so schema. Okay, okay, Shreya, thank you. Okay, so here, if you open schema tab, you will see, okay, something like this, right? So after installation, I have installed this MySQL, I think 10 or 10 days before, right? 10 days before. So the version that you install, I installed the same version, right? In Windows itself, Windows 10, I'm using Windows 10. So when I installed this MySQL 10 days before, I got these three things, that is Sakila, Sys and World. And you know what this Sakila, Sys and World is? They all are databases, schemas, right? So this, Sys and World, right? They all are databases. And I have just explained what exactly a database is. It is collection of tables, right? Database is collection of, you can say that, tables, right? But it is more than that. I will explain in detail, but just for now, to understand, this is one, you can say that database, this is another database or a schema, and this is world is third database and schema, right? And I have created explicitly one database or schema that is named student, right? So this is created by me, right? But when I installed this MySQL, I have already pre-installed three databases, that is a Sakila, Sys and World, right? So this is just to okay, give you brief about this particular navigator. So let me open the first one, Shakila. So if you want to open it, you can click on this triangle, right? And you can see four things here: tables, views, stored procedures, and function, right? We will discuss about views, stored procedures, function during this course, but not now, maybe after some lectures. So let's first of all discuss about these tables, right? So these all are concepts, views, stored procedures, and functions. They all are concepts related to database management system course, right? So let's first of all, as you know, what exactly tables are. So let's discuss about table from now, right? So you can open this by clicking on this triangle against tables. So if you click on this triangle, you will see number of tables. Now, actor is one table, address is another table, category is third table, city is fourth table, and so on. So we have many tables inside Sakila database, right? So as I told, database is collection of tables. So Sakila database is having many tables inside, right? So these all tables are related to each other. That's why we want to keep all these tables inside Sakila, right? And it will create one database, one schema, right? So let's now discuss about one table. So if I click, observe the changes. When I click on this actor, you will see changes here, right here. So when I click on this table name actor, you will see some changes there. Is it okay? So I think now it is visible to all. So now when I click on this table, you will see some information about actor table. So what information you can see here? This is columns actually. So this is name of the first column. This is name of the second column, first name. Last name is name of third column, and last update is name of last fourth column. And these columns are related to actor table, right? Am I clear, all of you? Right? So you will get some information here, right? So this is one thing, right? This is just to introduce you this particular tool, that how you will be or you may be working with this tool. Okay. So now one more thing, as I hover my mouse to this actor table, What change you can see? Observe this change. You see three icons, okay, against name of the table, that is actor. What type of icons you can see against this? Please write your answer to chat box. All of you, write your answer. What type of icons you can see? All of you, please write your answer. I think, please write your answer. I tools and agreed. Okay, good. Table icon, good, Spandan. I want answer from everyone, right? So as you can see, if I move my mouse to address, category, city, country, same icons you will see against each and every table name, right? So if you click on this eye icon, that is information or inspection tool we call it, right? So if I click on this eye icon, observe the change, you will see to the right window, the bigger window, right? So if I click on this particular eye icon, okay, you will see the change. Okay, this window you will see, okay, information about actor table. So as you can see, this is name of the database Sakila, and actor is name of the table. So if I click on eye icon, this window will open, and here you will see details of this table. Okay, that there are 4 columns in this table, how many records are there in this table, what is size of storage of this table, okay, how many bytes it consumes to store data, 200 records of this table, right? So this information you will see. Okay, so as I told, it is a management software, right? You'll be able to see information of tables. You can see this is the first tab I opened, that is info. If you click on the second tab, that is column. Okay, so if I click on column, okay, you will see some of the information here, right? Some of the information. So what this information is exactly? Column names, right? All 4 columns and its names, and here you will see data type of each and every column against each and every column name. So as you know, in programming language also, there is a concept of data type. When we create any variable, we have to assign data type. Here also in database, okay, in relational database management systems, when we create any column, we have to assign data type. So we have data types like okay, in SQL standard query language, we have data types like small integer, varchar, timestamp, date. We have other data types also. We'll discuss in more detail, right? So we have to assign data types. So you will see information about this table, name of columns and its data type, and some other information. Okay, we'll discuss when it is required, right? So need to know basis, I will discuss these things. So this is about the information, you can say that inspector, you can say that, or information icon. Okay, so if I go to the last icon, that is grid icon, it is table view icon actually. So if I click on that particular icon, see the change you will see, or you will observe the change on right side of your, okay, MySQL Workbench panel. So you will see this change. So when I click on this grid or the table view icon, okay, what MySQL Workbench tool will do for you, right? What it will do, you know, if in programming language like C or C++, right? Sorry, in programming language like C or C++, if there is an array of, for example, 5 elements, okay, so for example an array A, and if I want to display all the elements of this array in programming language C, I write I is equal to 0, right, I less than 5, and I plus plus, and I display array, that is print A of I am not following syntax, right? So this is the programming statement that we write if I want to display all elements of my array, right? So all elements will be displayed. So similarly, okay, this table view or grid, when you click on this grid, okay, icon, what it will display? It will display, okay, table actors, every record of actor table. Okay, so this is very similar to, you can say that, this particular operation. So that is why we call it a GUI based tool. If I click on this grid icon, okay, this grid icon there, and automatically what this grid icon will do, okay, this button, this is actually ultimately a button. When I click on this button, MySQL Workbench will create this programming statement or SQL statement for you. It will run this statement and it will display this result. Am I clear, all of you? So that is why we call it a GUI based tool. Am I clear? If it is so, please write yes, so I can understand that you are with me, right? So this is one actually small feature I am trying to explain, right? So this is ultimately means what it is, UI based tool. If you interact with this tool, automatically queries, programming statements will be generated. When I say query, now you understand what is meaning of query. Ultimately in programming language, it is a programming statement. In SQL, it is a query. So when I say query, it is ultimately a programming statement. So kindly, okay, now onwards I will say query. So please understand, it is ultimately a statement that you want to execute, right? So ultimately, automatically this query will be generated by MySQL Workbench. And according to this query, after execution of this query, you will see output like this. So this is output window. This is the portion where you can enter your query, enter your programming statement. And when you run this query, output will be, okay, here. So it is one point tool, you can say that, okay, you can interact with this tool and you can observe the changes, right? So if you want to observe the output, see, if I can, if I want to explain you, this is the first record of your database, sorry, first record of actor table, right? So the first column name is actor ID. His ID is 1, right? His first name is Penelope. His last name is Guinness, and the date of right last update is mentioned, right? So if I say right, some other record, let's say this particular record number 6, ID is 6, name is Battery, Nicholson is the last name, and update time and date, right? So these all are records. So if I scroll down a bit, you will find one scroller button here, and you will be able to see each and every record in actor table, right? So why so? Each and every record, because query is something like that. This query will display every record of actor table. Okay, so this is first thing. Now for example, if you want to display how many records are there in this table, please answer, all of you. How many records are there? Good, all of you, I expect answer from everyone. And my question, different question now. Second question, how many columns are there in actor table? Good, right? So good. So there are 200 rows and 4 columns, right? So for example, uh, you want to now perform particular operation, right? That I don't want to, sir, I don't want to display all the records. I want to display maybe first 10 records, right? First 10 records. So what changes you can do? Very simple operation, but for now let me explain you. I am not trying to explain you queries, right? SQL queries. I am trying to explain you that this particular tool. But for now, let's you want to only display some of the records, right? So you can use where clause. It is a keyword where actor ID. This is a way to write SQL. It is the condition that we want to provide where actor ID is less than 10, for example, right? if I change this query like this, so this is the only change I made, right? After changing your query here itself, if you want to run this query, right? So there is a button here, as you can see, lightning button. So you can click on this button and it will run your query, and you will observe the change here, output window, right? So let me run this query for you. So I'm clicking on this button now. The query will run, okay, and you can see the change. Now it is displaying only 9 records, first 9 records, because I have used right less than 10, not less than equal to 10, right? Is it okay? So let me briefly explain you this query, right? This is the way select is a keyword in MySQL. It is to display something. Display, right? Records, select, just try to understand this query. Display, select mean display records from table actor where condition, where actor ID is less than 10. Means what? Display all the records whose actor ID is less than 10. And how many columns you want to display? If you provide star here, that means what? You want to display all the columns, okay, but not all rows. So based on this condition, rows will be selected, and if you do not mention this condition, all rows will be selected, and if you mention star here, all columns will be selected, remember, right? So all columns. So if you want to explicitly mention some of the columns, so what you can do is remove this star, and you can mention actor ID comma first name. So only first 2 columns will be displayed. Is it okay? So I am not trying to explain you queries. We'll discuss in great detail that how to write queries and everything, right? But this is the way. Okay, this is in this session I am trying to explain you the tool, right? So this is the way to do it, right? Now let me explain you one more part of this. As you can see here, is it visible to all? Please write yes or no. So okay, what is the second option there? The circle, inside circle. The first is result grid and second one is form editor. Yes. So I'm talking about this particular option, right? So you can explore other options also. Let me explain you this particular option, that is form editor. So let me click on this particular form editor, and when I click on this, you will see the change. You will observe the change, right? So if I click on this, so means what? As I told, it is ultimately a database management software. Okay, management means what? If you want to, after inserting a record, if you feel that I want to change some of the information of this record, for example, student's record, student is actor is 1, actor ID is 1, his name is right now, his first name is Pinolog, right? By mistake, if you misspell this okay, first name of this particular actor, you want to make it double E instead of single E, right? So instead of single E, I want to make it double E, that is Pinolog, right? And his last name, I do not want to change. His last update, I do not want to change. I just want to change his first name or her first name, right? So I want to change it. So I want to make these changes, okay, in my database. So you can do it here itself, okay, without writing any programming statement. You can use UI based tool like MySQL Workbench to update this database. So let me make some change here. So please observe the change. Instead of singly, now I have entered one extra E, right? And after entering the necessary change, okay, you can click on apply button here. After okay, changing things, you can click on apply button here. So let me click on apply button, and you will see something, okay, like this window. So as you can see here, okay, automatically MySQL Workbench will create one query for you without writing any, right? So what this query is about? This query is now about update. You want to make update to table actor, right? You want to make update to table actor, and what update you want to make? So there is a keyword set. You want to change first name, okay, of first name of table actor, but for not all rows. So to which row you want to make this change, where actor id is equal to 1, right? So this is the way to write this query. So if we use command line client or command line method, we have to write this query explicitly. But in using this workbench tool, you can make it easy, fast, right? So means what? I want to change this first name to Penelope, where actor ID is 1. I think, am I clear? Am I clear, all of you? Okay. So this is the way we write queries. We'll discuss in great detail about these queries, right? So after this, you click on apply button here. So this will, the changes will be applicable. Click on apply button, and as you can see, the changes has been applied, and you can click on finish, right? So the changes has been made, right? So if you want to observe the change, what you can do is you can execute the same query again by clicking on this lightning button, and you will see the change. Instead of single E, now you can see there are two E's, right? So the change has been made, right? If you want to remove this change, yes, you can go to the form editor, you remove that extra E, click on apply, you will see query like this. Again, you click on apply and changes will be made. And if you want to see the change, observe the thing, click on this execute button, you can see the change, right? So this is the tool that, okay, you can use for this laboratory also, right? So okay, so you explore all these features, okay, and try to explore each and every feature if possible. And if you do not find anything about any other feature, don't worry. If you need to know business, I will introduce you these features. Okay, so whatever I explain, okay, you explore all these features. Okay, that is the first thing. If you have installed this tool at your system, better you use installed one, right? And if you have not installed, some of you have not installed, your the workbench is not available at your system, so let me give you another option, right? So there is one course in Coursera is accessible to all, okay? So as you can see, okay, I will provide link through assignment itself. So this is an assignment for you, all of you, right? You go to this particular course, right? I will provide link for this course through classroom itself. So you go to this course, it is a guided project, right? And level of this project is beginner. So in 45 minutes of time, you will be able to complete this particular course. 45 minutes only. It won't require more than that, right? In 45 minutes of time, you will be able to complete this course or a guided project, and you will earn one certificate out of it, right? So one certificate you will get from Coursera. So it is good for you, and we are talking about only MySQL Workbench itself. So all of you are requested to complete this course, okay, and submit your certificate in response to lab exercise 2. Is it okay, all of you? And it is very easy, right? So it will simply clearly explain concepts related to this lab, as well as you will be able to earn one certificate, right? You can mention that certificate in your resume also, right? So that is good thing. And when I click on this particular course, let me click on this. If you have not installed this tool, okay, in your system, you can go to the guided project. I have already completed this course, right? So my means what screen will be different, right? So let me take you to this particular course, how you will be able to perform all this operation using this tool. So open the tool. You If you click on this open tool button, it will simply open one window, right? So in 2-3 minutes, I will explain how you will be able to complete this course, right? And how you will be able to complete all the things. So when it comes to this particular window, so your workbench will open to cloud workspace here. So a workbench will be given to you in cloud workspace. So when you click on that, okay, your workbench will be created here. So as you can see, after some time, your workbench, a MySQL workbench, will be available online, right? So here you will see there will be two windows. One is right side window and sorry, left side window, here, and another one is right side. So in right side window, you will see instructor video lectures, and he will ask you something to perform. You can perform it here, right, on left side window. So you will see a workbench here, and if you have installed that workbench at your system, you can complete the task that is given by instructor at your local machine, right? And if you are not installed, okay, you can complete it here. So as you can see, this workbench is open for you. Okay, it is interactive, means what, it is as good as you can interact with your system. So as I told, okay, click on this gray box. When you click on this gray box without asking password, it will take you to the workbench tool. It won't ask you for a password. If you want to close this window, right, this particular window, you click on this particular icon, right? So if you click on that icon, right, the window will be minimized, and the other thing I have explained, you can complete it here, right?